Welcome to my chat. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. That's better. I've been kind of busy today, and over the last couple of days, of course, I got the the video out. Some of you I know have watched it, and of course, there you go, John. In Mylar, I put a interleave sheet inside of it, and that'll go out to you whenever I send your next order out. I'm just going to wait till the box is full, and then I'll send it. And from then on, I'll just start a box for you like I do with Michael and Angel. Angel because he's quite a ways away, and Michael because he asked me to. So there won't be any shipping charges until I actually ship something or get ready to ship something. Of course, sometimes you have a full box every week, so we'll just see how it goes. So anyway, it's good to see you and Michael in the chat. I'm glad you're here. Remember before on Tuesday, I don't know if you watched it. Storage Bandits, how are you doing? I don't know if you remember it or not. Before I started my dollar sale on Tuesday, I showed you a box full of Star Wars figures. That's what's left in it. I've identified all the rest of them, put them in little bags. Maybe, well, here. This is the way I do it, like this one. And then I identify it on the back. So when I get ready to list it or sell it, I know exactly what it is, when it was made, what it is, and I can do it quick. I'm almost full with my second tub full of small action figures. Yeah, but I have a box that's like 3 times that size. It's full. And then I have 2 more boxes over there that are full of action figures and small collectible stuff. So, yeah, I'm busy. But it's fun. I enjoy it. Something I've been meaning to do, and I haven't gotten around to it. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I actually still do have 3 figures to identify. I might end up taking pictures and sending. I know who this is. I'm just not sure when it was published or when it was made. But it's Luke Skywalker, but I'm not sure which one it is. There's like 40 different figures of him. Yeah. I got mailing tubes in finally. I sent off. I thought I was sending 1 poster to Warcraft, Ohio, but it turns out I sent him 2. One is the Mists of Pandaria poster that I've got, and the other one, I'm not saying what it is yet. When I get a frame to put it in a frame, because I need a little bit bigger frame than the ones I have, then I'll show it what it is. What do you think? I like the older ones, the ones from the late 70s, early 80s. I have those Star Wars figures. I have a lot of Superman figures going back early 70s, maybe a couple from the 60s. Yeah, yeah. I decided to throw some blue paint on you. Why not? I'm not like some people. I just don't make everybody a mod. Uh, People that have been coming in for a while that I've gotten to know them a little bit, uh, and that buy from me. That helps. Uh, those are the ones that usually I make mods. The ones that I've learned to trust a little bit. Some of them I trust anyway. So yeah, I've been busy. But found some figures that I forgot I had. I haven't decided if I'm going to sell these or if I'm going to keep them though. I suspect I'm going to end up keeping these. Superpowers Aquaman, Superpowers Doctor Fate, Superpowers Flash, Superpowers Hawkman. Yeah, I suspect I'll be keeping those. Yeah, they have these things called storage lockers that you can get, um, and that helps if you don't mind paying the storage fee. I had one for a while. I paid for a year in advance because I figured I was going to be gone for a year. Uh, and I called them and told them I was going to be going on vacation and that I would come pay for another year in advance. Uh, I was already late by about 2 weeks. I said, "Look, I'm in Germany. I'm coming to home on vacation. When I get there, I will come see you and I will give you another year's in advance." Um, no, they sold my stuff. Yeah, that's understandable. That's when you need a family member that you can trust to take care of it, or a good friend that you know will take care of it. Yeah, it's not practical to keep stuff uh, all the time. As it turned out, though, I was gone for 5 years, but after a year and a month, they sold my stuff before I could get there and pay for another year in advance, catch up and pay for another year in advance. They cut the locks and sold all my stuff. That's why I have very few LP records anymore because those are gone along with a lot of other stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had one or two copies of everything Steppenwolf ever did, one or two copies of everything Queen ever did, one or two copies of pretty much everything the Beatles ever did. Uh, I had some 33 and a third records. Uh, I had magazines. God, but I had magazines. I had from the first issue up until 1976. I had every single National Lampoon and every single heavy metal. Uh, all gone. Uh, I had a fishing rod that I paid close to $400 for back in the 70s. Gone. What's up, Patrick? I am going to do something I don't do very often. I am going to send out an invitation to anyone that would like to join me on the stream. And we'll just put that up and pin that message. So if anybody wants to pop in and join me, they're welcome to. So, are y'all enjoying my little minute long or my under 5 minute videos? The just a minute series. I got a couple more written. I popped in real quick and dashed off one real quick about the using about cleaning that airplane because yeah, I didn't have anything finished yet to be written. Night, Patrick. Good. I'm glad people are enjoying them. I like making them. But I actually have to do some thinking about some of the subjects and write out an outline so that I don't get lost and go for an hour and a half, 2 hours on a subject. I might do one on the uses of this. This is a magic eraser. I found a new use for it. Well, it's not a new use. It's just I'd never thought about using it that way. Somebody told me they were good for cleaning comics. I tried it once or twice and I went, nope, because it will take the gloss off of the cover. I already, just a minute? I already did a long video on that. I think on one of my Freeform Fridays, I did a video on that. But yeah, I could probably do another one. I could probably do one. Do one on the modern barcodes, and then do one on the older barcodes, and then do another one on how to tell what month and year a Dell comic is published. And how to read the codes on the Charltons and the gold keys. I guess I could do a whole series on that. I still have to do mid-grade comics and low-grade comics. That's on my list of things I want to take care of. Get the mid-grade and low-grade ID'd like I did the high-grade. But one of the things, when I make those, the first thing I do is I write it, and then I rewrite it, and then I read it out loud to myself while being timed, and then I rewrite it again, and then I read it again out loud to myself while timing it. And yeah, I usually have to rewrite it 4 or 5 times to get it short enough to fit into the amount of space that I need. Yeah. There's one on eBay that I saw Journo do a video on. And what happened was he was looking at it, thinking about buying it, and he noticed what looked like maybe a stain. He talked to the guy about it, and the guy said, yeah, this. I showed him inside. It looks like mold on the inside of the book. And Journo recommended that he put that out there. Let the people on eBay know about that stuff. The guy said, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that." That was 2 weeks ago. The guy has not changed his listing at all. So, I mean, I don't worry about it. If I get mold on a book, it's not a big deal. Throw it in my ozone chamber for 2 or 3 days and then clean off the mold. Because the ozone chamber will kill the mold. But yeah, if you pick out low grade comics and they don't have water and they haven't been exposed to water, or you don't have any mold, you're fine. And even if they have some water wrinkles, you're still fine. I have some low grade Superboys that I've had since the early 90s that have water stains on them. And I just don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. You can find them in low grade without those problems. But yeah, I'm I'm kind of looking at some Daredevil #1s that I'm interested in. Uh, I'd like to have at least a very good, but I'll go lower if I have to, because I can probably take a good and get it looking decent if I had to do that. I'd rather not, but I could. I have some of my Metal Men comics have been title stripped. I just printed out a gray cover and put it in front of it so I can see the whole cover. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. When you're picking up low grade comics, you got to expect the worst, especially on eBay. My rule of thumb for eBay: whatever grade they say it is, subtract 1 or 2, and that's probably closer to what the grade is. Uh, Unless it's me that's doing the listing, in which case you can trust my grade, because whatever grade I think it is, I drop it 1. Matter of fact, that's going to be on eBay starting Saturday. And one of my Cole #1s is going to be on Sunday. I'm going to put that up. Now this, I consider this to be fine plus, so I'm going to put it as fine or fine minus. I haven't decided which. I've already taken the pictures. When I take pictures for eBay, I take 9 pictures. I take a picture of the front cover. I take a picture of the back cover. I take a picture of the splash page that shows who the artist and writer is. Then I open it up so that this you can see the staples in the centerfold and take a picture of that. Then I take a picture of this corner, this center, this corner, and this corner. 9 pictures. And I tell them what grade I think it is, or what I feel the grade is. Because grading, most people think of it as being subjective. I don't. I don't think it's subjective at all. If you follow the rules, it's not subjective at all. Iced coffee, not cola. Iced coffee. I don't know why. Yeah, I like. I I don't have a problem with lower grade comics. I mean, I have a few in my collection. Some of my older Green Lanterns are low grade. You know, I think my number 5, I think, is maybe good. What do I consider low grade? Good, very good, and below is low grade to me. That's a 3.0. From 3.5 to 8, I consider mid grade. Crawl 1 and 2. I think I have those. If I don't have both of them, I'm sure I have one of them. I'll check because it's not a comic that I'm really care about. And if I do, I'll send you a note on Instagram if I've got it and what I'd like to get for it. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Well, I mean, if I just bring them up and say, "Oh, here's Crawl number 1," and I see because you're in the chat, there's always a chance that somebody's going to outbid you, and you're not going to get a chance at getting it, even though I pull it out so that you can have a chance of buying it. So I'll just contact you and let you know what I'd like to get for it. And if you're agreeable with that, then that's what we'll do. And if you're not agreeable with that, then you can bid on it and maybe get outbid by John or somebody else. Yeah, I think she was too. I wouldn't mind seeing her on a Friday night selling with us. I think she'd have a lot of fun. But on the downside, she wouldn't be able to buy because we've got a rule. Our Friday night rule is if we're selling, we don't buy. Which sometimes I really hate that rule. And sometimes I'm really glad we have it. Yeah, when he's feeling good and he feels like buying stuff, he is. If he's not feeling good, no. It's got to be something pretty spectacular to get him to bid if he's not feeling good. Right, John? If you're not feeling good, you don't bid much. Unless it's like Wolverine. I think that's true with all of us, though. I've been in a couple auctions and seen things I wanted and just gone, I don't buy that. I'm not feeling it. Stuff that's been on my want list for years, I just pass it by. Sometimes because of the seller. There is one seller that he's got stuff I want, but every time I buy something from him, it's terrible. The comics are inundated with smoke, with cigarette smoke, and I just can't stand it. So I'm just not going to buy from him anymore. And it's a darn shame because he's got really nice comics and stuff that I really want, but I don't want to have my comics sitting in a box or in a tub with baking soda to absorb the odor of the comic for a month and a half before I can even look at them. The ozone doesn't help with the cigarette smoke. The only thing that works for that I found is baking soda. Or you put the baking soda in the bottom, and you have a little thing to hold it up off of that. And you set the comic in there for, a normal comic, you can let it sit in there a week. But if you've got 4, 5, 6, 7 comics, it's going to take a month and a half to get the odor out of most of them. But yeah, I do it in my ozone chamber, because once the smell is gone, then I flood it with ozone. I have an ozone generator that can do that. That's what I use to kill mold. And if I find a comic that has mold on it, go in the ozone chamber, turn it on, leave it on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, shut it off, and just let it sit there. Next day, turn it on for another hour and a half to 2 hours. I'll do that 2 days, sometimes 4. Then I can just go in there and wipe the mold off, because it's dead. The ozone kills it. Yeah, I can think of a couple of online sellers that you would get that from. One of them I used to go to a lot. I used to buy a lot of stuff from. I don't buy anything from them anymore. I kind of got chased away. Yeah. Yeah, but the problem with her is she'll go to your head. And you get lazy when she's around. And lazy is the last thing I need to be. That box was empty 2 days ago. Yeah, she will. She'll do that to you. Here's one I'm going to end up selling. I need a little bit bigger bags, though. These 6-inch bags don't cut it, so I ordered some bigger ones. Oh, no, he'll fit in a 6-inch. And I found a Sid Vicious wrestling figure. That was from 1996. Same process. Get yourself a plastic tub, sprinkle some baking soda in the bottom of it, have something that'll lift the comic up, set the comics inside of it, seal the tub, walk away. You might want to change that baking soda every 2 to 3 days. If it's one comic, after a week or two, you won't have any trouble. If it's, half a dozen to a dozen comics, it's going to take a month and a half. I probably have a bunch of those toys that you obliterated. Yeah, I've got Star Wars and G.I. Joes up here. There's some of the G.I. Joes. I've got 3, 6, 9. I've got 12 drawers like that. So 12 times 10, 120. Oh no, 12 times 6. No. 12 I've got 144 figures right here. Old Star Wars and old G.I. Joe. I don't think I have anything newer than 1980, 85, something like that. No, I have some from the 80s. And those will go too eventually. What's up, Horizon? Boy, how are you doing tonight? Like I said, if anyone wants to pop in and talk, I've got the link up there, pinned to the top. Had one of my magic cards sell today to somebody that's buying two, that's got bids in on 2 more that should close tomorrow. So I sent him a note of, hey, don't pay yet, wait, and I'll send you an invoice for all 3 of the cards, or all the cards at once, in a couple of days when the others finish. Yeah, he didn't listen. He paid. I don't want. If the guy's buying 2 more cards, I really don't want to charge him $5 to send him 1 card. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to let that be what I charge him, and then when he gets the other 2 cards, I'll cut the shipping out. I'll knock the shipping off of it. Not because I have to, but because I think it's the right thing to do. Had somebody buy they bought one of these and immediately requested to cancel the sale. I thought, what? Well, maybe they found it cheaper. And the reason they wanted to cancel the sale was they moved recently and still had the old address listed with eBay. So they wanted to cancel the sale so they could rebuy it using the right address. Oh, I don't know yet. It's still Thursday. My plans right now is to get all of my listings done for the weekend so that I have my weekend free. Because Saturday, I plan to do some fishing. Unless I wake up too late, in which case I won't. Tricky Trapster, glad to see you stopped in. Don't see you in my chat often enough. It's one of the reasons why I've been pushing so hard to get all those Star Wars figures I recently got and all this other stuff done, is so that I can go ahead and take some time off. Are they full or empty? Are the tackle boxes full or empty, Roy? Not that it matters. I've got so much tackle, I don't know what to do with it. Hey, tackle boxes are great. Not necessarily for tackle. They're good for keeping small items in. I have one somewhere that's full of lead miniatures, not pewter miniatures, but lead miniatures. They are that old. They're from the early 70s, early to mid 70s. They stopped making lead miniatures in the early 80s, I believe. Yeah, good for art supplies, good for cleaning supplies for comics. But my cleaning supplies kind of outgrew my tackle box. I need one of those big drawers. I need one of the big mechanics toolboxes for all my cleaning supplies for comics. Pretty much. Oh no, I don't buy Ryobi stuff. I don't like Ryobi. I used to think it was pretty good stuff until I went to their factory in Korea and saw all the shortcuts they were taking and how they treated their workers. Yeah, no. Yeah, when I was in Korea, me and the first sergeant used to walk down to the Imjin River and do a little fishing. We never kept anything. We always let it go because it was pretty bad. Dremel's good stuff. I've got I don't have a Dremel right now. I have an off brand. I forgot what brand it is, but it works pretty good. So. Promiscuous. Glad to see you could stop in. Always happy to see people come in. So we're having some fun, enjoying life. I actually like being retired. I try not to work too many hours a day, and that's the thing about the action figures and stuff like that. A lot of people say, "Oh, you can't just do that all the time. That's too much work." But I enjoy it. I enjoy looking stuff up and doing research. That's one of the things I love to do. I always have. So to me, that's fun. So why would I want to limit myself on that? What's not fun is once they're identified and labeled and in little bags, and then I got to list them, and that's not fun. Yeah, you want it? How many would you like? Yeah, yeah. I've watched them a few times. I was going to watch it tonight, and I got sidetracked doing something. Forgot, but it's still not focused. Yeah, that's better. Like I said, I got sidetracked. That happens when I get hungry. I get sidetracked and go find food. Oh, you never know when, or where I'm going to learn something. I learn things all the time from all of the kinds of people. I've learned things. I've learned things from 3 and 4 year olds that I didn't know. I didn't know the 3 or 4 year olds, and I didn't know what I learned from them until after I learned it. So yeah, you just have to be open to new experiences. So, uh, many years ago, I worked for Pizza Hut, and the one of the waitresses needed a babysitter, so I said, "Yeah, I'll watch your kids." And so she said, "Well, how much?" I said, "I'll just watch them. I'll do it for free." I just did it as a favor. And one of her one of her sons wanted a sandwich, so I said, "Sure. What do you want on it?" He wanted peanut butter and bologna, which now I eat some strange sandwiches, but that sounded strange even to me. But he liked him. I mean, he liked it, so uh, so I had to try one. It wasn't bad. I don't think I've eaten one since, but it wasn't bad. And like I said, if anybody wants to hop in and join me, up on the pinned up at the top is the address. You can come on in. I can have 10 people in here, so or more. I don't know. Spicy chicken patties with peanut butter. That doesn't sound bad either. But then I eat peanut butter and tuna fish every now and then, so what do I know? I've still never tried a peanut butter and banana sandwich. I've been told I need to, but bananas don't last that long around me. Not long enough to make a sandwich out of, anyway. So yeah, like I said, I've got more here. I've got another. Well, this is a pretty good sized box. This is the next one I'm working on, and it's pretty well filled. But that's the next one I'll be IDing everything in. But like I said, I'm thinking those the superpowers figures. I have a feeling I'm not going to be selling those. I think I'm going to be keeping those. It's an item that I haven't shown before. This is going to go on my eBay store on Sunday. And it's never been built. I'm not even sure why it's open. I think a customer opened it, then I taped it up and another customer opened it. I used to have customers that would open a box in a heartbeat. The one that got me that bothered me worst was the guy. I watched him open a box, look through it, close the box up, bring it up to the counter and said, "This is open. Can I get a discount?" Is that for grading comics, slabbing comics, or what? I actually prefer my comics in Mylar, and I prefer to grade them myself. Hi, Tina. How are you doing today? Um, yeah, I've always liked CBCS better. If I ever do get comics graded, that's who I'll go with. Simply because, okay, maybe they haven't been in the comics grading business longer than CGC, but they have been in the grading business longer than CGC because they were grading cards back in the 90s. Yeah, I would go with CBCS. Aside from the fact that they're a little stricter on their grades and closer to the way I would grade the comics. I like their slabs better. And they're right up there in Dallas, So that's like I put it in the mail and they've got it tomorrow. Their newer slabs are supposed to be so much nicer. that it isn't even funny. But all the comics that I have that are slabbed, I bought them that way. They're in that magazine box right there. Yeah. I've got some comics that I've thought about getting graded, but I just can't see having a comic graded just to have it graded. Uh, I would rather grade a comic that I'm getting ready to sell. Like, let's say I decided to sell one of my high grade comics. That's in the $300, $400, $500 range. I'd send that in and get it graded before I put it up for sale. Mid-grade, low-grade comics, I'm not going to get those graded. If somebody wants to grade them, get them graded after they have them, that's fine. I'm not going to pay money to get them graded. And the idea that because a comic has been graded, it is now worth 10, 15, 20 times what the raw copy is, to me, that's utterly ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. But that's just the way I feel. I could see it being worth, $30 more, maybe even $40 more, because, you got to pay for the grading. But other than that, no. Same thing with a baseball or a football card. Once it's graded, I kind of see having those graded, though, because you only have a front and a back. There's not much to look at. So having it graded is not that it's not that much different than just having the raw card, except of course it's better protected. Having a comic graded and slabbed means the comic is no longer useful. I mean, it's just a giant baseball card. You have a front and your back, nothing in the middle. And the argument against that, of course, is, well, you can get a digital copy of it. It's not the same. I tried reading a digital comic. I couldn't get through it. It's not the same. When I read a comic, I want the feel. I want the sensation. I want to be able to feel the paper. I want the smell. I want everything. I want it all. And I can't get that from a slab. And I can't get it from a digital download. I need the floppy comic. I don't even like reading trade paperbacks because it's not the same. Now, graphic novel, I have no trouble reading because that's the way it's meant to be read. Gee. Let's see, what's the difference? A comic book or a digital download? I'll take a comic book 99 times out of 100. And this is broken. I need to throw it away and get a new one. Of course, the screen's dead in it. Maybe I could sell it. put it on eBay for $20 and somebody'd probably buy it. Of course, I'd have to turn it on and figure out how to wipe it first. Wipe the memory on it, make sure there's nothing's in it. But yeah, I prefer raw comics. Maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. Maybe it's because that's what I grew up with. But now there are comics that I want to get slabbed copies of, just because I like them. I have a raw copy, but I'd like to get a slab of it just because it, I like that much. There's an X-Men comic like that. There's a Superman comic like that. The fact that I said there's an X-Men comic like that probably surprised a lot of people. And it's not a very valuable X-Men. It's worth like $2, maybe $3. But I like the cover. And, I'll get one eventually. But since it's not worth a whole lot, there aren't very many of them slabbed. Absolutely, Tina. Read the comics. If you're buying them and you're going to resell them, read them carefully. But read them, enjoy them. That's what they're made for. That's what they've been written for. That's why these people are slaving over them and doing the writing and the art. It's not so that you can put them in a slab and never look at them and keep them in the hopes that they might be worth something in 10 years. Or in, like a lot of people, in 20 days. They create comics to be read and enjoyed. Well, there's one that I want slabbed purely because of the cover, because it's one of my favorite covers. It's in my top 10 favorite covers of all time. So that's why I want to get a slabbed copy of it. I have no desire to read it again. I've read it already, and it wasn't that great. It was X-Men, X-Men. And unless Chris Claremont's writing it, it's just an X-Men comic. Which, by the way, that's who wrote this, was Chris Claremont. John Burden did the interior art. Chris Claremont wrote it. Yeah, there's a lot of them like that. I've got some of the the DC currents, and some of the other stuff. The first appearance of Preacher wasn't in the comic book; it was in the preview. It had a short I think it was 4-page story with Preacher in it to introduce the character, and that's his first appearance. I've got 2 copies of it. Should probably sell one. Well, it's time for me to shut it down. Time for me to go do something else and figure out what else I want to do. I'll be online for a while. If you want to come in the back room, like I said, it's up there in the thing. You always get here too late. Immaculate Comics, that's where I get most of my cleaning supplies from. Check out his channel if you haven't already. He's a good guy, and he'll tell you the same thing I did. Mold is not that hard to get rid of. You just got to kill it first. You kill it, you can get rid of it pretty easy. So, like I said, it's time for me to go ahead and log out, and we'll see you the next time I see you. In the meantime, make sure before you handle your comics, you wash your hands. It's good for your comics. More importantly, it's good for your health. And we'll see you next time I'm around. Bye.